We've got Kathy Kressel in the studio this morning. She's a Rockford historian and author. She's got a couple of books out, and she's the organizer for Haunted Rockford events. Kathy, we talked about the Coronado. Now it's your turn to pick one of your favorites as far as haunted goes in the 815.
Well, probably the second most active place in town is the Tinker Swiss Cottage. Now, that one's actually been on the Ghost Hunter show.
I saw that.
Yes. So that has some... The family is still there in spirit. There's Robert Tinker, Mary Tinker, Jesse Tinker, and one of the nieces that lived in the house for a while, Marcia, has been heard. So
what do you mean she's been heard?
Okay, so they've picked up in this place. You've got everything. It's like a buffet of paranormal activity. They've heard voices. I've heard voices in there. Full-bodied apparition, which is unusual, and knockings, doors slamming in your face. The family tends to be usually pretty open about letting their people come in and see their place. But there's been a couple of times that people have pushed buttons, as it were. And they're like any other home. You know, when they're ready to leave, they will let you know. When they're ready for you to leave, they will let you know. So Steve Litteral, who is the executive director there, has probably had the most events. He's been there most happenings. He's been there like 10 years. So we have had a lot of events there. And sometimes when we leave, they're not happy with the way things went. And they one night he was there and he was running around shutting all the doors and locking, and he's pretty quick at it. But just as he reached the dining room door, it slammed in his face. And he said he ran up the stairs, and he's used to this stuff. But sometimes...
What is going on?
Sometimes, you know, even if you're used to it, you're startled because it's like, well, and the door slamming in your face would be startling.
I mean, yes.
So we've picked up growlings. There's been a couple of times when we've had investigations there, and we're doing EVPs, which are electronic voice phenomena. And that's usually where you can't hear it when you're in the room, but when you play back the tape, you get a voice. And there was a gentleman in the basement, and he was using this. Sometimes these ghost hunter people think that they should provoke the spirits in order to get a reaction. So it's like somebody coming in your home and saying mean things about you. Sometimes you don't like that. So they let you know. And there was a group of them downstairs, and all of a sudden you hear, "Get out."
Nope. Nope.
And that's usually when I say, okay, maybe we should take a break with that area this time. But I've had experiences there myself where I've heard a woman's voice, and then I've actually seen a full-bodied apparition.
No, done.
Yeah. That startled me a little bit because I wasn't expecting it. I just was running between sessions talking to, sometimes we use a psychic, Sarah Bowker, and she was in the basement, and I said, "How's it going?" And she's like, "Oh, good, but we're in trouble because there's a spirit that keeps coming downstairs and saying, 'Get out of my way, I have to get dinner.'" She was a maid maybe there. And just as she said that, out of the corner of my eye, I saw like a flash of something. So I looked up the stairs and I saw the back half of a woman stepping back into the kitchen. And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And we're like 2 8-year-old little girls. We're like, "Ah!"
Kathy, if you keep this up, I'm going to throw up.